Signs you're too attached. A wake-up call for the emotionally drained man. Let's get honest for a second. Attachment isn't always about love. Sometimes it's about fear, about trauma, about the version of ourselves we're desperately trying to protect or prove worthy. And if you're not careful, attachment can turn into a prison you willingly lock yourself inside, calling it love, loyalty, or just how relationships are. So how do you know if you're too attached? Let's break it down, not with cliches, but with real, lived experience. 1. You can't breathe without a text. The moment she goes quiet for too long, your mind spirals. You start checking your phone every few minutes. You reread old messages. You start imagining worst-case scenarios, thinking, did I say something wrong? Did she lose interest? Is she pulling away? Your peace is no longer yours. It's outsourced to her presence, her attention, and that's not love. That's anxiety in disguise. 2. You abandon your boundaries just to keep her. You used to have standards, values, things you wouldn't tolerate. But now, you let disrespect slide. You tolerate mood swings, mixed signals, and emotional games, just so you don't rock the boat. You convince yourself you're being patient, understanding, mature, but deep down you know you're scared that if you assert yourself, she'll leave. Brother, anytime you shrink just to be accepted, you've already lost yourself. 3. You confuse her approval with your self-worth. When she's warm and loving, you feel on top of the world. When she's distant or critical, your confidence crashes. You've linked how you feel about you to how she treats you. One compliment gives you life. One cold moment leaves you second-guessing everything. That's not stability. That's emotional dependency. And no woman, no matter how beautiful or magnetic, should have that kind of power over your identity. 4. You try to fix, save, or earn her love. You feel responsible for her happiness. When she's sad, you overextend. When she's mad, you over-apologize. When she pulls away, you chase. You start doing things not because they align with your integrity, but because you're afraid to lose her. You become her emotional caretaker, her therapist, her peacegiver, and yet, you're the one who's breaking. Love shouldn't feel like a full-time job with no salary and constant pressure. If you're always proving, you're not being loved, you're being evaluated. 5. You've lost touch with your own life. Your goals, delayed. Your hobbies, forgotten. Your friendships, fading. You've poured so much into keeping the connection alive, you forgot to keep yourself alive. You stopped being the man you were becoming and started being the man who simply revolves around her. And here's the honest truth, brother. When a man becomes too attached, he slowly trades his purpose for presence. He sacrifices his identity just to be chosen. And the more attached he becomes, the more likely he is to tolerate half-love, hot and cold behavior, or even emotional abuse. Because the fear of losing her feels greater than the fear of losing himself.